The frostbitten air of Thornwick bit at Elara's fingers as she worked, her needle darting through fabric with the precision of a hawk diving for prey. The village, tucked in a forgotten corner of the Wolven Kingdom, was a place where time seemed to limp, where the pines whispered secrets older than the mountains themselves. Elara's shop, a modest wooden structure at the edge of the village square, was her sanctuary, its walls lined with bolts of cloth and half-finished garments that bore the mark of her artistry. For 8 years, she had been the mute seamstress of Thornwick, her silence a carefully crafted shield against a world that hungered for women like her, women marked by destiny, by the silver-threaded aura that shimmered faintly in their blood. It was a gift, some said, a beacon to draw the eye of an alpha. To Elara, it was a curse. She had been 16 when she first heard the whispers, carried on the lips of traveling merchants and pack scouts who passed through Thornwick. They spoke of her mother, Elara, a woman of rare beauty whose aura had glowed like moonlight on a frozen lake. Elara had been claimed by an alpha, a cruel pack leader named Gavrik, who had torn her from her home and bound her to his will. Elara remembered her mother's eyes, once bright with laughter, dulled by years of servitude before she vanished entirely, leaving only a letter warning Elara to hide her own light. "They will come for you," Elara had written, her script trembling. "Your aura is brighter than mine. Run, or they will chain you." Elara hadn't run. Running drew attention. Instead, she chose silence, a vow to never speak, to never let her voice betray the power that hummed beneath her skin. No voice, no attention. No attention, no claim. Thornwick's villagers had accepted her silence without question, their pity weaving a cocoon around her. They called her the mute girl, their voices soft with sympathy, assuming some tragedy had stolen her words. They brought her scraps of fabric and copper coins, leaving her to her solitude in the shop that had once been her mother's. Elara listened, always listening, her ears sharp for any hint of danger, rumors of alphas, of pack wars, of the Alpha King himself, Torin Blackthorn, whose name was spoken in both reverence and fear. Torin was said to be a force of nature, a wolf whose power could shatter stone, whose golden eyes could see through lies. His mate, the stories claimed, would be his equal, a queen to temper his fire. Elara wanted no part of it. She wanted her threads, her quiet, her freedom. The shop was dimly lit tonight, a single candle casting flickering shadows across the walls. Elara sat at her worktable, stitching a cloak for the blacksmith's wife, her fingers moving with practiced grace. The fabric was a deep green, embroidered with silver threads that caught the light like stars. She worked quickly, her mind half on her task, half on the unease that had settled over Thornwick in recent days. A convoy.